When we last connected back at the Hope Studios as part of Open House, we finished with a really short conversation, but it was a poignant one, around the loneliness that can sometimes come with the life of a politician, where so much of your time is spent away from family, and at the same time you're so endorsing families as the backbone for all of our communities. Now that you're Premier, is it lonelier still?
Well, look, the truthful answer is yes. It's, people have said that the loneliest places are often in the busiest rooms, and I've felt that. I really have. I think when you're considering many issues that are very difficult to determine, you know that it's going to be difficult for some people on the back of decisions, and they're piled up. You haven't seen your family or friends for a while, and you're going from event to event. That's difficult because people at those events, they want to meet you and they want to talk to you about their issues, which is one of the joys of the role, to be honest. But at the same time, there is within all of us this deep sense of needing fellowship. We need human relationship, and if you haven't seen those who are near and dear to you and don't have the capacity to engage with your friends, the weight of some of those decisions and thinking time can just be incredibly lonely.
You're a dad, 3 kids, wonderful wife, a lady who recently actually you admitted out, with her support I suspect, that you admitted missing the signs of postnatal depression with. This was in the last few days, and I thought, what a powerfully candid admission for a man who is at the forefront of a state's thinking around so many issues. What prompted you to make that admission? Because I know family is right at the heart of the way you live your life. I know that you miss them terribly when you can't be in contact with them, that they are a fantastic sounding board for you as well. So tell me about what drove you to make that kind of confession.
Well, I think, and Kerryn said at the time that she should have sort of made it clear that she didn't think I was a schmuck, which I called myself then. And look, no, I think, it's the truth. That was me, and when I reflect back, that's not something I'm proud of. And my hope is, in my defence, I had no idea what postnatal depression was, and I didn't know what I was dealing with. Where I was guilty was it was incredibly difficult behaviour to understand, and rather than try and understand, I chose to divert off, back to my career. That was a safe haven, and one of the things that I've got the biggest regret, at the birth of our first daughter was, really only spending 2 or 3 days at home and then going back to a transaction that, as I shared at the time, I have no idea I can't even tell you what it was now, but it was the most important thing in the world. And yet, my beautiful daughter has now just turned 18 and grown into this incredible young woman. And, I should have spent more time as she came into this world. And I hope by talking out about this that I'm potentially reminding men that there's much more to life than your career, that if your wife is showing signs of postnatal depression, and we have to talk about it publicly, the sort of signs, that hopefully men can respond earlier, and that obviously take away the pressure and the potential tragic consequences of postnatal depression. So, look, I think you just have to be honest, not just in this role, any role you're in, and hopefully that's helpful.
Did you get a chance when you became Premier to tell everybody, bureaucrats and whomever else were running your diary, that these were the windows that were going to be sacrosanct? What was your process in making sure that those kinds of decisions could be made more fluidly to the family's benefit?
Yeah, look, we work hard on that, and what we try and do with my diary is sort of lock out key periods, so Kerryn, family, church, rest, all of that which is needed. You need, I think you're a much better Premier or leader if you spend more time with your kids and your wife and your friends. If you're a real person, well, you understand how people are thinking, and you're happier in yourself, and you've got more energy for the challenges you're facing. So I think you have to be selfish in terms of your time for those that matter most to you, and structuring your diary is unfortunately really about the only way you can do it in this role, but we're determined to do that, and otherwise the diary dictates to you.